Hey everyone, Jamie here with Sweet Pickins. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm so glad you're here. So we're in the kitchen, but we're not baking or cooking. As you guys can see, we've got some cleaning things here. So I am gonna show you guys today how to make your own laundry soap. Guys, it's a game changer for your wallet. So we have been using my homemade laundry soap now for a year in our home, and it has just been transforming. Your clothes are so clean and crisp. They smell good. The whites come out really white, and we just love it. And I'm telling you guys, you can make 6 months worth of laundry soap for $60 or less. So it just depends on how much, how much your items are where you live. But there's 2 of us in the house, and we do the towels and the bedding and all those things on top of our clothes. We have actually gotten 8 months out of the laundry soap that I've made here, but 6 months is a good round number, especially if I decide to go crazy and just do even more washing, pull stuff out of the linen closet because it's been there, and rewash. So a solid 6 months you guys can get out of this laundry soap. So let me show you guys the items that you are going to need, and then I'm gonna put them all together for you and show you how I store them and how much you need and yada, yada, yada. Okay, so let's just start out since these are right here. So these they're called Purex crystals. They're, I use Tahitian Breeze. We really like that scent. It gives a nice, really subtle, clean scent to your clothes. So that's why I use these. So they're just Purex. I have 2 containers, so you're gonna need 2 containers. There is lots of brands of these, and there is lots of different flavors. They just call them fragrance washing machine hand wash fragrance boosters. I don't know how you use this in hand wash, but just reading what it says. So anyway, you get 2 of these, and man, I just got a whiff of them. They smell so good. So this is the one we use, 2 of those. All right, then you're gonna need borax. So here is a box of borax. You are gonna need a big box. Well, actually you don't need a big box. I bought a big box, but you could buy a small box because you only are gonna need 2 cups. I don't know how much is in the small box, but I just bought a big box. Anyway, and so it's baking soda on that. Then this is something that a lot of people have never even seen or heard of. So this is called Super Washing Soda, and it is by Arm & Hammer also, but one's, the orange, one's the yellow, and you're gonna need a box of that. Then Zote. So I like to buy the Zote because it's already grated up for me. It's already ready to go in little tiny little pellets. If you want to save a little more money, you can buy the bar soap that's in your laundry section, and you can grate it yourself. No, thank you. So I think this just ends up being a couple dollars more, and for the aggravation, the cleanup, the trying to do a bar of soap, no thanks. So I like the Zote. It's called Laundry Flakes, and they're already pre-done. So get a box of those. Then you're gonna need a container of OxyClean. So this is a 5-pound container. So you're gonna need a container of that. Last thing you're gonna need is Epsom salt. So Epsom salt, any kind. I would say stay away from scented Epsom salt because you're already gonna be using your scented beads. So stay away from those because you don't want it to clash and stink or be weird or not smell good or whatever the case may be. So this is just basic and plain. All right, so the only other thing you're gonna need a 1 scoop cup. And then you're gonna need a container. So this is our actual container from our laundry room. You can see there's just a tiny bit of laundry soap left. And then this is fabulous. So it is a scoop, but it's a 2 tablespoon scoop. Say that 10 times fast. 2 tablespoon scoop. So this is what you're gonna use. That's it, just this. And I bought this off of Amazon. It was a 2-pack. It's only this 2 tablespoon scoop, and then your laundry is good to go. Not 2 or 3, so we'll talk about at the end. But so you're just gonna need a container. This is a really big container, and then some kind of scoop. Okay, so let's get started. So the way I like to do this, I do this a little different. You don't have to do it this way. So I get a garbage bag. Did not want to come out. And I get a big bucket. Now, you're gonna say, but you already have a bucket, why do you need a laundry, or why do you need a bag? I'm gonna tell you why. Is because you have to mix this up really, really, really good. And honestly, it is so difficult because the first time I ever did it, I just did it in this container. I was like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? So it is easier to mix and roll this bad boy around and mix it all up really good in the bag, opposed to using your hands and spending 15 minutes trying to get everything mixed up. Plus, it gets in the grooves, and honestly, this is just easier. So another reason why I like to use the bag is because some of this adds a lot of like poof, like dust that comes out of it, and you really don't want to inhale that, so you can really control that with the bag. So the bag obviously doesn't fit this container, right? I mean, it does right in the front, and that's it. So I'm just literally setting it down in, okay? And then we'll kind of pick it up as it grows. So it doesn't matter what order you do this in, you could do it any order. So let's start with the borax. You are gonna need 1 full box of borax. I didn't open anything ahead of time. Okay, so this comes just floating in this box. Now this is one that has a lot of dust, rebound dust. You've got to be careful. You really don't want to inhale that because, you know, ultimately when you look at it, it's chemicals. So what I like to do is I put this in and I close the bag and I just literally pour it in there like this. And you see nothing is coming out, nothing. So then I just wait a couple seconds just for the dust to settle, and that's it. See how easy that was? It's just a way to not inhale all this stuff. All right, then let's start with the super washing soda. You're gonna need an entire box of this too. All right, so let's pour this in. Same thing. Let's pull up the side, put this in. Now, none of this stuff, I mean, is necessarily, it's not bad for you. It's perfectly okay. However, you don't want to inhale it. Just like when you're spray painting. Don't inhale that spray paint. Okay. All right, so see, no dust came out. So that was totally perfect. Okay, baking soda. Baking soda, you're gonna need 2 cups. So we are gonna just do 2 cups on this. This is your good old baking soda that you use to bake with. So just 2 cups. Okay, so what I would suggest now is actually kind of mixing this around, because we've got like about half or almost half of the elements. Let's just mix this a little bit. So let me move this. Let me move these boxes. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why, is because literally just grab the top, make sure it's closed, and then you literally, it kind of feels like sand. Just mix it. So we're just mixing this. We're just getting a little bit of a head start. And another thing is you can feel clumps. Sometimes you'll get clumps. They're just in the boxes clumpy. So just break those down as you go. So I'm just kind of like going through and feeling them and breaking them down. So this is another reason to use a bag. Yeah, there's a lot of clumps in this one. But that's common, just how they come. Because you really don't want any clumps. You want everything to be fine and really good. It'll go through your washing machine so well. But if you start having clumps, it's not gonna be as effective. Okay, so see, we're just kind of mixing it. Okay, so I mostly just use this container to kind of contain everything. You could probably just put this bag on your counter, but okay. So go ahead and open it up. All right, let's go ahead and do the entire container of OxiClean. Okay, we will not need this, so we'll recycle that. So here it is, and again, this is another one that really poofs up. So we're gonna just, this is granules, so it's not as bad. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so we'll set that aside. And you can see it's getting pretty darn full and heavy. Okay. All right, so now let's open the Epsom salt. You're gonna need 2 cups of Epsom salt. Any kind, any brand. This is just, what is this? Equate, so it's from Walmart. Looks out good. If you have rough feet, put this in your bath. It really makes a difference. One thing about Epsom salt though is it is very clumpy. It comes clumpy, and there's a huge clump here on the top. All right, so let's do 2, and I do heaping. I don't do exact, I do heaping as I can. So there's 1. Oops. And 2. Okay, so we'll set that aside. I just dropped some on my counter, so let me grab that and put that in. Okay, so then what you're gonna wanna do really quick is just to make sure all those clumps are out, or as much as possible. We'll go back in a few minutes to double check, but if they're right on the top, it makes it so much easier. Okay, great. All right, so now what we're gonna do is the Zote. So it's gonna be an entire box of Zote. I like Zote. It works actually really, really well. I'm going to show you what Zote looks like. So it's like literally flakes. So we're going to go ahead and man, it smells good. Like so good. Okay, we'll get all those in there. So it's 1 full box. Perfect. Okay, now comes the scented beads. Remember, just pick out what flavor you like. I'll show you what these look like. Actually, so they're just crystals. See that in there? So we're gonna just pour both of those in. Oh, it smells so good. It already smells clean. Like it smells like laundry. All right. Just try to get all that stuff out of my way. Perfect. Okay, so let's pull this out. See, it just kind of helps it not spread. Sometimes a bag will spread out all over and it may spill, and I really don't want that, but it is heavy. So let's move this. You guys can see, look at this. So you can see all the layers of colors. So what we're gonna wanna do is mix this sucker so good. Just make sure you got the top if you need to. I like to get a lot of the air out. Doesn't all have to be out, but I like to get a lot of it out. And then I like to just kind of twist it and then kind of twist it in my hand just to make sure. And if you have nails, don't break this bag because it's gonna be a mess. So then I just like to just kind of spin it. This is literally what I do by myself. When I'm making it, just kind of spin it. And you can tell because of the scented beads that we put in at the end, you can see when it's all mixed in. So this is what I do. Now you could do this with just your hands in a bucket, but I have to say, I think this is the easier way. And see, here's a big old clump, so I'm gonna just get that out. Just be conscious of that. This is the Epsom salt clumps I can feel, because Epsom salt clumps are really, really hard. I didn't get all of it, it's so hard. So there you go. Okay, So I think it's mixed up. So now what we're gonna do, hopefully you guys, I don't know if you guys can really see what it looks like. But now we're just gonna add it to our container. So I'm gonna use my scooper and I'm just gonna add it in. That's all I do. You could, if you really wanted to, and if you see a clump as it's going, just kind of break it down. This laundry soap, I'm telling you, it smells so good. It saves you a ton of money. It works just, though your whites are so white. And isn't it wonderful when your laundry comes out and it just has a fresh, clean smell? Oh, I love that. So what's gonna happen is it looks like I'm gonna have extra. It's probably not all gonna fit in here. So I have a reserve container. And then what we'll do is we'll just put the rest in there. And then what I'll do is, as this one, you know, basically runs out, I'll just keep filling it. Just as you go, you can definitely, when you're doing this process, you can see the clumps. And oh, it smells so good. Okay, so what I like to do, I spilled a little. We don't want to waste any of this. Okay, so I'll just kind of zhuzh it down and fill it up as much as will fit. Okay, so I still have a decent amount in here. So we'll put that in the reserve. This gallon, this is not a gallon. This is like 5 gallons. I really don't know how big it is. It's huge. I actually found it when I was picking a few years ago and I just hung on to it and it came, well, it didn't come with, I bought other sizes too when I was out picking. These people had 4 different sizes and this was the biggest one, but I think it's so cute. Okay, I threw my scoop on the floor over here. So let's talk about the scoop. So like I said, it's 2 tablespoons. So it's already measured out 2 tablespoons. So literally when you want to do laundry, 2 tablespoons and you put it in your washing machine. So if you don't have a 2 tablespoon and you don't want to buy one, it's fine. Just grab a tablespoon from your kitchen and just do 2 of those. You're not going to really want to do more than 2. And I recommend you start your washing machine, get the water going, throw this in, let it really get in there and dissolve a little bit, and then put your clothes in. You're gonna have such success with that. So if you're doing a really tiny load, then you only need 1 tablespoon. If you're doing a large load or an extra large load, you're only going to need 2 tablespoons. I just bought this because I was like, how easy is it? Plus, I was thinking Jeff might do like 10 scoops. He's like, oh, it looks like you need more, because that's like in our mind that more is better. That is not always the case. So I just made this convenient for all of us just to do 1 scoop. So it's literally 1 scoop per load. And honestly, when I do a small load, I just do 1 scoop. So this will make a really large container. Like I said, if you have any left over, put it in another jar with a lid or put it in a Ziploc gallon baggie or whatever it is. You're gonna wanna make sure that the reserve that you have is sealed and airtight. Another thing I can show you is you could actually put it back into your Oxy container because you got your lid, and you could store it like that and then fill it up as you need it. I would just relabel this so everybody knows it's just laundry soap. So you could do that and then you get to repurpose that. So Guys, it's so easy. So definitely make your laundry soap. And if you do, let me know how you like it, because I'm telling you, it has been a game changer for our family. So guys, thank you so much for coming and joining and hanging out. I hope that you're inspired to go and make some laundry soap. Don't forget that to like the video and subscribe to our channel. We would love that. It keeps all our videos going. Also, we do have a retail store here in Sparks, Nevada. We're inside Painted Tree. We're space W1, back left corner. Big chandelier, country music playing all the time. You also can shop with us at shopsweetpickens.com. There's more than just shopping on there though. There's lots of decorating ideas. There's a blog on there. There's all sorts of things. So another way you can follow us is on Facebook or Instagram. Just type in Sweet Pickens Reno, Pickins Reno. And we do stories and we do reels and we do all sorts of things over there daily, several times a day. Earlier I posted a picture of the chickens out hanging out. So there's all sorts of fun things on there. So we would love it if you'd follow along. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And if you do make laundry soap, please let me know how you like it. And if you think someone else would love to make laundry soap, send them the video. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.